Hey, it's Bedhead. We are at Big Rock Brewery, and this is Beers with Bands.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the music industry.
All right. So my name is Bedhead. I got into music pretty recently. I'm still fresh to the game a little bit. When I got into music, music's always been like a really big part of my life. Recently, I started kind of picking up writing again as a way to just kind of like feel the feels, express the feelings. And it was just like this thing where I had been wanting to do it for so long, but it was just kind of something that I was dismissing. And I was like, you know what? It's the right time to do it. Yeah, I just felt like everything was kind of aligning. And so I was like, I feel ready to finally share what I've been doing.
And then, so you just had your debut show in March.
Yes.
So going into it, was there things that like exceeded your expectations or wasn't quite there? You're like, oh, maybe this should happen or this or that.
I think what exceeded my expectations was I was surprised just about like filling the entire room. I think when you go into it and it's your first show, you just like want to go in with really low expectations. You're like, I don't know who's gonna come. Like I know my family will be there, my friends, but I was like really overwhelmed with like how many people actually came out to support me. So it was a really like emotional night in a lot of great ways. So yeah, that was nice.
The name Bedhead, where'd that come from?
So the Bedhead name came from this idea that like it was almost kind of in time with how I came up with like wanting to get into music and start to finally do it. So it's almost like this idea where you are kind of like afraid to come out of your shell. It's almost like you're kind of like almost like this idea of like sleeping in, but like, you know, finally like coming out, but like still carrying that weight and like the things that held you back with you as not like something to be like ashamed of, but something that like you can be proud of and say like this is what makes me a stronger person.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like going down the road, eventually, say you get a rider. What would be your dream items
Oh
for
my goodness.
a rider?
Dream items for
Like
a
even
rider.
off the wall, crazy stuff.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna have to go with like, you know, those Stacy's pita chips. I'm obsessed with Stacy's pita chips.
Okay.
And like, I don't know if this could be a thing, but like some way to play Mario Party on a screen or like Mario Kart.
They could make it happen.
Mario Kart especially. I love Mario Kart.
Do you remember the first CD you ever bought?
Oh my God, I think I do. I think it was Avril Lavigne's first record. Yeah, I have really fond memories of like playing that in the basement. My friends and I were like really dorky kids. We would just like make music videos in the basement,
that's
and
awesome.
yeah, so I just remember like doing that.
And first concert.
First concert. Ooh. I think my first concert, we have this thing in Oakville, it's like a jazz festival.
Oh, okay.
And my first concert was probably that, but like first rock concert, I don't know. I don't think I can remember. My family and I used to go to a lot of like jazz festivals and stuff like that. Not really like influenced in my music at all, but a big part of my childhood growing up. Yeah.
And then what about your first beer or alcoholic beverage? Can you remember back to that?
I do. It was in university. I didn't drink in high school.
Yep.
Again, my friends and I were really cool, and we just made videos all the time in our basement. But my first beer was definitely like in somebody's like dorm room, and just being like, I remember feeling like really awkward about it because like everyone else was like, oh yeah, drinks beer, and I'm like, what's beer? Like, what's beer? So yeah, that was the first one. Probably like a Coors Light or something really soft.
Yeah. And what are you listening to a lot lately? Anything that's influencing you?
I've just started listening to Carly Rae Jepsen's new album.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so great. I'm really loving it. I listen to a lot of Tame Impala, which is totally like on the opposite scale of that. So I'm getting really excited for his new album coming out. He's just had a few singles.
All right.
Yeah. And I also listen to a lot of Dizzy. Dizzy's a big
She's
one,
great.
yeah. Oh, they're amazing, yeah. She's great.
So if you had an option to have a faucet at home that just flowed out any kind of beverage you would like, what would you choose other than water?
Other than water? I would say Fruitopia. Fruitopia fruit integration specifically.
That is the one that you
It
want.
might kill me, but like, I love it.
And going forward, if you had the chance to collab with any artist, doesn't matter who it is, who would you choose?
That is a good question. Let's think here. Any artist. I mean, like, if we're gonna, I'm not to mention Tame Impala again, but I do really love Tame Impala.
Yeah.
That would be amazing to do.
That would be who
Yeah.
you would choose. Cool.
Yeah.
And then if you got to brew a beer or any kind of like alcoholic beverage of your own and name it after one of your songs, what would you name it after?
I would name it after Bitter.
And what would be your secret ingredient?
Oh, you know what? Just on the notes of like grapefruits, I think I think the lemon would be a little obvious. I think a grapefruit is like a nice alternative to the bitter. Grapefruit's bitter, right? I would say it's a bitter. Yeah. It's a bitter thing.
And actually, I think that's what you're drinking.
That's what
today.
I'm drinking right now. Yeah, the Darcy's Poolside Grapefruit Lager. It's really good.
Yeah.
This is great. Good
Awesome.
poolside drink. Yeah.
So what's next for you? What's coming up next? You got some shows in the works?
I do. I have a show coming up next Thursday at the Rivoli, May 30th. So
Check her
that's really
out.
excited. Yeah, come on through. And then I have a single coming out at the end of June. And there's no like official date yet, but that's coming out. So if you want to catch those songs, it's I'll be playing that at the set. And then the next thing after that is just to release my EP. Looking at the end of like the fall or something like that. And then hopefully lots of more shows on the horizon.
Awesome. And then where can everybody find you for your social media?
You can find me on my socials at Hey It's Bedhead. Everywhere.
All right. And we are Beer X. You can subscribe to our channel to catch all of our videos. And we are Beers Bands on Instagram and Twitter. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Thank you so much.